everybody, to episode 106 of Triple Threat Talk. I am your host, PostMaster Jones, along with my esteemed co-host, Big B, and of course, the Doc, Gary Lockard. Wait a minute. The Doc isn't here. Where's the Doc? What did you do with the Doc?
Well, 1, 2...
Yeah. Yes, I know. What did you do with the Doc?
I didn't do anything. I mean, now, again, I have no issue with anyone's specific sexuality. If they want to be who they are, that's who they are.
Yeah.
Maybe he's looking at the body issue of ESPN with Colin Kaepernick on the cover. I don't know.
He could be.
I mean, he is on the cover.
He could be.
So I don't know.
Actually, we put up a poll on the Triple Threat Talk app.
Which does not exist.
Does the Doc pass or fail? And apparently it was 90 to 10% that he failed. So I guess he's fired like Vicky Guerrero. So I guess that's why he's not here.
And the Triple Threat Talk app consists of a piece of paper and a pen.
Yes, exactly.
And it's in the beta stage.
That's right. It's in the beta stage. But with that being said, actually the Doc is on personal leave. He had some work things and some personal issues to take care of this week. So he asked us to go at it alone. So that's what we'll do. So on today's show,
we'll do it again.
We'll cover the wonderful world of Wimbledon, some history-making stuff there for the first time in all three of our lifetimes combined. Somebody won the Wimbledon.
Somebody won the Wimbledon. Wait. 25.
Yes.
How old are you?
29.
So that's 50.
And I think Gary's like 29.
He's 30.
30.
So no.
Close.
Close. But
real close. The Midsummer Classic in NASCAR at Daytona. The wild and crazy story of Aaron Hernandez that just doesn't get any better.
Spiraling down.
Contract talks with Victor Cruz, Dwight Howard, some MLB All Star, and much, much more. And of course, our wrestling coverage with Brian Cannon, the OVW, and our money in the bank predictions.
No. Wait.
No. You failed. Well, I guess we'll kick it off with views or questions since Big B doesn't have any money in the bank predictions. So with that, from our good friend the Buck and Five.
The Buck stops here.
That's right. With it coming closer to the start of college football season, which team do you think is the most improved from last season, and which is your team to watch?
I feel like I've answered this before. I mean, it's hard to say because it hasn't started yet. I mean, you can throw Kentucky out there because they got a new coach who can actually coach them.
That sounds familiar.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Alabama because they're Alabama and they have Nick Saban. Louisville because they're Louisville. And I think not just us because we're Cardinal fans, but I think the entire nation is going to look at them this year because they played Florida in that Sugar Bowl game where no one gave them the chance whatsoever and they proved everybody wrong. And I think not just the team itself, I think they're going to be watching Teddy Bridgewater to see how he progresses because he is a Heisman candidate next year. He is one of the people that people consider, I mean, not the front runner, I wouldn't think. Probably people are thinking Johnny Manziel and A.J. McCarron and other people. But DJ Clowney from South Carolina. But I think Teddy Bridgewater's in the conversation for a Heisman. So I think that's definitely a team to watch, not just if you're a Cardinal fan, but also a fan, in general of college football to see what teams progress. What teams are going to do, and obviously, of course, Alabama. You have to watch. A lot of teams in the SEC are going to be obviously good because it's the SEC. So, but yeah, definitely Kentucky because they have a new coach to see what they can do, see if they can do anything coach-wise. So.
I'm going to look at Bobby Petrino in Western Kentucky. I want to see what his first year down there in Bowling Green has to offer.
You want to see if he makes it an entire season?
Yeah, we'll see. It's very possible. He's got a big test right off the bat, opening game in Nashville against Kentucky. I think they got a good chance to beat Kentucky myself.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a really good team. Petrino does a really good job of recruiting the state of Kentucky. He's brought in several...
Brian Brown?
Yeah, several guys in
Uncle
from
Bush.
so I mean,
he's got good.
I think Western Kentucky is definitely a team to watch. Another team, I like your pick with Kentucky. I think that's a good selection there to see how Stoops troops.
The other Stoops, not the Bob,
Mark Stoops. We'll see how
Mark.
They prevail. And of course, I'm always tuned in to see what the Bills up to. We have 3 players on preseason awards list. Of course, Teddy Bridgewater leading the way with the Heisman candidacy. He is also up for the Walter Camp Award for the best quarterback. And I think it's 2 cornerbacks or 2 linebackers are up for defensive preseason awards. So good stuff there.
Before we get to the next question, another note on Louisville. How remarkable is this? Kevin Ware, who we all know what happened with his leg and obviously the horrific injury he suffered against that Elite 8 game against Duke in the national championship, the NCAA tournament. Rick Pitino comes out today. He'll be back by October.
He'll probably be back by October.
That's just ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah, and so is how far technology's come. I mean, the guy's bone was out of his leg, and he's going to play basketball in October.
Also for the Buck and Five.
Another one.
How do you feel about all the people from OVW being released by TNA and their relationship to OVW reportedly being in shambles?
Okay, well, that story broke last week, and everyone that won gut check, including Joey Ryan, who did not win gut check, was released. And then it came back that said everyone was released but Sam Shaw. And I'll say to him off camera why Sam Shaw's not gone. I won't say it here, but I'll say it off camera why Sam Shaw's still there. But I mean, he can probably figure it out. But it's. I'm going to be real right here, okay? I mean, people at OVW can do whatever they want to do. That's their life. It's their career. That's whatever they want to do is completely fine. But if I were Silva and Taylor and Christian York, or not Christian, he wasn't in OVW, was he?
I don't think so.
Well, Taylor and Alex, and who else was there? Sam, that's it from OVW, right?
I think.
And Jay Bradley? Well, he's still there. They got him, or he's still there?
I think he might still be there. I'm not sure.
Anyway, as far as Crimson's gone. As far as those 3 go, Crimson, Taylor, and Alex. I don't know if Alex is still. I don't think Alex is there anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, well, I guess this is classified as Taylor. Well, anyone in general. If you go to TNA, for example, like Taylor, right? She is a fantastic talent. She's a beautiful girl, and she has a lot to offer in the ring. Okay, so she goes to OVW, gets noticed for her skills, obviously because she knows what she's doing. Gets picked as gut check, the first female gut check winner. Is used on TNA more than anybody that won gut check. From my recollection, she fought people like Mickey James, she fought Tara. She was featured a lot. She was going to be in the knockouts. Well, she was getting a lot going for her because she was going to become a knockout, which is, to be honest, it's better than the Divas division because knockouts actually. I mean, the Divas has gotten better recently, but right now knockouts are ahead.
Right.
Now that Taylor got released, Taylor, I think you should pack up. I mean, again, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life because, who am I to tell you how to live your life? But if you're going to stay in OVW, you're really not going to go anywhere. I mean, again, can TNA look at you again and say, we'll bring it back? Absolutely. They can change their mind in a snap of a finger.
I wouldn't go back.
But honestly, I would seriously, keep working here for a little while and save up some funds and make your way down to Florida and then give the FCW a share. Or just go down there for a visit and see what they have to say or something like that. Or talk to Marcus Anthony, who was in FCW for a little while. See if he has any contacts or anything. Ask him. Because, I mean, it seems like, TNA used a certain person for a while, and then they're like, okay, well, you're gone. But then you're not really helping yourself if you go back to where you were. They're not really going to take another chance at you for a while, I wouldn't think. So, I mean, and I said this before. I said the gut check thing was a joke, and it obviously is because everyone they used is gone. Everyone except for Sam Shaw, and I'll tell you why in a little bit why that happened, and I'm sure you probably know. But Crimson's gone too, and Crimson was featured on OVW for a while. He was undefeated for quite some time, I believe.
He was undefeated in TNA for a long time.
Yeah, so I'm saying he was undefeated in TNA for quite some time, then I think he lost to
James Storm.
James Storm came back and beat him.
Yeah.
But obviously Crimson, and he was OVW champion. He was very popular in OVW. He was a big superstar coming there from TNA, and then they released him. It's not. I don't think it's just me. I think it's the majority of people with TNA that they don't know what they're doing in terms of their talent.
No.
I've always said they need to go out and scout, go to other independent promotions. For the love of God, take Jamin. I swear to you, Jamin Olivency is really, really good. I haven't seen him in wrestling in a while, but I heard he beat Rob Terry at the Sunday Night Special, which is a huge win. Jamin's looking good. He's got a good look about him. He's got great charisma. I think they should give him a shot. I don't even care about the gut check aspect. I think just give him a chance to work some dark matches. Give him a chance to show what he's got in front of a live crowd. I think he can really do some stuff. That's what TNA needs to do. They need to go out to different promotions across the country and scout people like WWE used to do with OVW, and find some diamonds in the rough. Find people that people never heard of. I mean, did everyone hear of Daniel Bryan like 10 years ago? No, ROH did, and they signed him. The thing is about TNA, most of their talent, people that we know who they are. Their champion's Bully Ray, who's Bubba Ray Dudley in WWE.
That's a snooze.
Who's their TV champion? I have no idea. It was Devon Dudley. Okay? I mean, look at this, alright? Their aces and eights are all ex-WWE people. Bully Ray, Anderson, Devon, Mike Knox, Luke Gallows, it's all WWE people. I mean, and then look at the man of that mafia. Kurt Angle, Sting, he was WCW. I guess
Rampage Jackson. And apparently this week the final member is going to be announced.
I mean, use people like AJ and Samoa Joe and James Storm and Bobby Roode and Austin Aries and Christopher Daniels. I mean, you have such a giant pool of people, and you continue to use people that have been used by WWE and more are known for that. So go out, scout some talent.
That's their MO.
I mean, scout talent. WWE does. I mean, look at WWE. Look at people that are in WWE now. All young guys. FCW. Look at what happened on Raw. Huge debut for Bray Wyatt. Come on.
You mean Husky Harris?
That was bad.
I knew it was coming. Well, it's going to happen a lot.
At least he's over.
Anyway, it's going to happen.
I know it took a long time.
I know you did. It's okay. What do you think about Ricardo?
You answer the question.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I can't add to it. I mean, you went on for like 5 minutes. I can't really add to it.
I just have a lot of...
What do you think about Ricardo being suspended by WWE?
No es bueno.
Yeah, I agree. No bueno.
And then, obviously WWE's not going to come out and directly say what happened. They use the thing where he got injured by the guitar by...
Wellness policy.
They didn't say that.
But that's
on live TV.
But that's why.
Yeah. But,
suspended by for the wellness policy.
He's obviously not going to be there for his Money in the Bank defense this Sunday. So that could be a reason he's probably not going to win. I mean,
you talking about Del Rio?
Yeah. I mean, I'll make my pick later, but that could be a precursor. Who knows? Don't read too much into it. Maybe you should. I don't know. But... it's just one of those things. And then, where did I hear this? I swear I read that he took some kind of... It was something that was really stupid. It wasn't like a drug or anything. It was something really dumb. It was like some kind of... If someone knows out there, please leave a comment and I'm like, oh yeah, duh. But it was something that was like completely asinine. I was so far out of there, like you wouldn't believe he got suspended for it. But it wasn't like, PEDs or something like that, so...
I mean, it was a stupid move on his part. I mean, even if it was something that was like, duh, that's kind of dumb. Yeah. You should know what you're taking in your body and what you're not taking. I mean, a lot of guys are very aware about what they eat, what they consume, what they drink, because somebody could spike it if they're not looking.
You gotta watch out.
You gotta be under P's and Q's with that. So
Ricardo Rodriguez.
It's not good.
No es bueno.
Another TNA question that's probably gonna get Big B fired up. Yeah. With TNA having to save money by letting several wrestlers go, do you think that they are having trouble financially? I can answer that.
Financially, I would say more no.
I have to disagree.
Okay, the reason I was going to say no because it seems more...
But I know why.
Okay, it seems more recently, though, that the financial shows are better because they're actually branching away from the Impact Zone. They're coming here next Thursday. They're going to different places now instead of staying locally in Florida.
You would think that is the case,
right?
But they're actually having trouble paying their wrestlers.
Okay.
It's not that they're not getting paid.
No, but didn't tell me they were behind or something?
They're behind a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like, the way it's set up, because they're actually not owned, like, TNA's not actually TNA, per se. They're owned by a company called Panda Energy.
Wasn't that owned by her dad?
I think so.
Her dad, Dixie Carter's dad owns it, doesn't he? Or no, she owns it, but
her dad owns it.
He fits the bill.
But so when so let's just say Samoa Joe works a show, AJ works a show, they send their compensation to Panda Energy. Panda Energy has to cut them a check. Well, apparently they're always several weeks in the rear.
So is that Panda Energy's fault?
No, because I mean they're the parent company for TNA. Apparently, it's something to do. There was a big story. If you go to, I'll give you the credit to the PW Torch. They had an article about TNA and their paychecks being a couple weeks late, and it's upsetting some of the talent. Obviously, I mean, because it messes with their livelihood, it messes with the way they do their everyday lives. And how you expect to go out here and pay bills and get groceries and this, that, and the other if you don't know when your freaking paycheck's coming. So with that, we'll take a quick break here and we'll continue with user questions right after this here on Triple Threat Talk. Stay tuned.
go. You got a left, then another left, and make a left after that one. Yeah! Whoa, taught her everything she knows. Are we there yet?
Well, apparently today, when we're filming today is Hump Day as a preview to that commercial. So
It's one of the best commercials on TV by far.
what day is it?
What day is it? Mike. What
day is it?
What day is it?
Hump Day.
Woo, 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 woo. Hump Day.
We feature a lot of those guys for commercials. They're doing something right over there.
Because they're funny.
Doing something right over there.
Exactly.
Paul Revere,
Pillsbury Doughboy.
the
Doughboy.
Camel.
The
What's
Camel.
next from Geico? Let's find out.
I don't know.
I think it's a race between who's better between Kmart or Geico. Let's see what you got. Kmart, you're up next. You're second. We need a third one now. You have Ship My Bed and Big Ass
Shit
Savings.
my pants.
Big Ass Savings.
Big Ass Savings.
So let's try another one here. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You're up to play. Up to bat.
And finally, from the Buck and Five, we're going to save this question. We're not ignoring it. We're just ignoring it for now. But I'll go ahead and read it. He wants to know, what did we think about the Wyatt family and their debut on Monday? Very scary. But
Very Cape Fear-esque.
we will get into that a little later. From Against All Odds 20. What are the best and worst returns in wrestling history in your minds?
Some of the best. I think one of the best is going to be this Sunday. I think RVD coming back, especially in Philadelphia, which everyone knows that was like the birthplace of ECW. He's going to have a really. And I think that was smart by WWE to book. See, this is why WWE is so freaking smart. They booked the pay-per-view way in advance, and they are able to bring back RVD. They could have done it anytime. They could have done it Monday. They could have done it whenever they felt like it. But they're saying, you know what? We're going to bring him back in Philadelphia for Money in the Bank, and the place is going to go bananas.
Well, the place is going to explode. The roof is going to go.
Yeah. Whoever, I don't know what the name of the arena is, but they're going to have to repair the roof. Seriously. So, I mean, this is why I give credit to everybody. They do things like so perfectly smart. And you know what? I think when Triple H takes over, this company is going to really do some stuff. I think. But
They already are.
Back to the question. I think RVD this weekend's going to be good.
I agree.
I think when Brock Lesnar came back after WrestleMania, that was pretty hyped up.
The Raw after last year.
After WrestleMania last year, yeah. I think the Shield debut was very good.
Yes.
One of the worst ones was Christian. I'm sorry, you know it is.
Oh, it was bad.
2008.
I think so.
I came back from TNA, and first of all, right? It was on. I classified it as WWE ECW. Okay, it wasn't
WWE CW.
Yeah. So, Christian obviously a very popular guy. More known with being Edge than by himself, but he was by himself at the time, and he comes back from TNA. I can't remember what there might have been a match going on. I think there was a match going on. And he comes down the ramp, and I think it was Todd Christian and Matt Striker were doing commentary, and he comes out and they're like, oh, it's Christian. Whoop-de-doo. It's Christian.
Kind of like this week when he gets the Minitron. Apparently his name is Michael McGillicuddy.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christian was a bad one.
I agree.
That's bad. Worst debuts. I don't know. There's a lot.
I'll tell you another good one because it was a surprise because he wasn't supposed to come back was when John Cena won the Royal Rumble a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were like...
He was still hurt at the time.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, what the heck? That place kind of went...
Well, I mean, how could I have missed this one? I mean, probably the biggest of all is probably Jericho.
Yes.
The Millennium thing. I mean, if you want the definition of a wrestling pop, and if you know what that is, it's like the crowd exploding, go watch that. And you can really hear the crowd roar in unison. It was incredible. Goldberg making his debut. There's a lot more good than there is bad. I can't think of a lot of bad other than, it's Christian.
Oh, it's Chris.
I'm trying to think of more worse because there's a lot of good. I'm trying to think of any more bad ones.
I mean, I guess you could say there's been some. I don't know per se. There's got to be some wrestlers out there that debuted, and you're kind of like, who the heck is that, and what are they doing?
Okay, maybe Chavo Guerrero was Kerwin White.
Yes. that was a bad one.
Maybe the Spirit Squad. And look at Dolph Ziggler now, right? And Nikki, look at him now.
Yeah. The Spirit Squad definitely. There's been some. The oddities.
That was kind of fun.
I didn't really care for that.
Trying to think.
The Godwins.
The Good Father as the right to censor.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the right to censor.
I don't know. There's a lot of stupid gimmicks people have done over the years.
Obviously, Owen Hart had a bad entrance.
It's terrible. I can't think of any other ones.
I don't think so either. All right. Also from Against All Odds 20. If you could bring in 3 wrestlers
That was a horrible joke.
in their
You should apologize for that.
Why?
Because it's horrible.
Apparently, I'm sorry for my comments. Big B didn't like it.
I'm sure a lot of people didn't like it either.
We make jokes like that all the time on this show, but that's neither here nor there.
That's a bad one.
Okay, if you could bring back any 3 wrestlers from any time in their prime to fight the Shield in a 6-man tag, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive?
It does in their prime from any time in wrestling history.
That's rough. Wow. I mean, I could throw like 200,000 combinations. I can't think of.
I could go all day with names.
I just pick 3 people. I think
Yes.
Shawn Michaels.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, that'd be too overpowered. Shawn in his prime was like the best ever, so I don't know if I want to do that.
But the Shield's epic. They could take it.
You could do DX, Shawn Hunter,
Shawn and Hunter.
Shawn Hunter, and maybe X-Pac or Billy Gunn. All right, this is my definitive one. 3 people. I'm gonna pick someone present, past, and really past.
All right.
Present, I'm gonna go Sheamus. Past, I'm gonna go Shawn.
All right.
And really past, I'm gonna pick King Kong Bundy. I don't know why.
King Kong.
You have a muscular
of
guy?
all names to come up with, and of all wrestlers to come up with, you come up with one of the worst in the history of wrestling. Oh my God! You should apologize for even saying his name.
You have a muscular guy, a small guy, and a big guy.
Yeah, who picks on midgets at WrestleMania? Come on, man! Cheese and crackers.
That was my answer.
I like Shawn Michaels. I'll go Shawn Michaels, Sting.
I didn't think about the promotions either.
I'm just spitballing here. Shawn Michaels, Sting, and what the hell, Ultimate Warrior.
If I'll pick one from each promotion. Shawn Michaels, Sting, and Rob Van Dam. They're happy.
There you go. Whatever. Also, from Against All Odds 20,
King Kong Bundy.
Do you all see a Beth Phoenix WWE return likely?
You know, I mean, pretty much it's up to her. To be honest, I mean,
she's with Edge.
She's been dating Edge. That's the reason she left in the first place, because he has neck surgery. He has neck surgery, and she wanted to spend time with him.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think you're gonna do that, but you know, I could see one. She obviously is very good. One of the better wrestling divas out there. Again, it depends. You know, if she wants to come back.
The Glamazon.
I think she could. Well, it depends. You know, I don't know what she's doing right now. If she's wrestling at all or not. Or she's just spending time with Edge with her family. I don't know. I don't think she was gone for good, to be honest, when she left. So.
Before I forget, I just want to say it is possible that she could come back. I think once Edge maybe heals up some more, she might want to come back. But she's probably liking life right now. I mean, Edge doesn't really have to do much. He's probably still drawing a paycheck.
Yeah, he gets residuals.
You know, and she's probably still getting some sort of paycheck, I'm sure. So, but I just want to say a big congratulations to Tyson Kidd and Natalia, who were married last week. So I guess even in Canada, cousins can be married.
What the heck? And that'll actually be featured on
WWE Divas on the E Entertainment Network. So
your phone there.
I don't know. The timer's gone awry.
I can still see it.
We can still see it. And finally, to wrap up user questions, we will not answer these now. We're not ignoring them. We're ignoring them for later, but I just wanted to give CAW Interviewer the credit on this. He wants to know, do you think Andy Murray will be the world #1 if he wins the U.S. Open? And he also wants to know, how much did the crowd influence the Wimbledon final? Well, how about a lovely segue? We'll just segue right into headlines here, and we can let Big B start off with the biggest headline of them all.
Pick our user of the week.
We're going to.
Okay. What's with your phone there? It's giving me problems.
I can see, don't worry.
Okay, all right. Anyway.
So with that, let's kick it over to headlines.
And no dancing this week.
And no dancing this week because there's no doc. Only dancing with the doc.
Yeah.
And let's kick it off with the Wimbledon.
So let's see. You take my age. You take Gary's age. And you take your age.
And you almost got...
You're close.
The last time that a Brit...
Do you remember the year 1936?
No, because I wasn't born for another 47 years.
Okay. I remember 1936.
You do?
I do.
Why? Because Fred Perry won the Wimbledon?
Way to ruin my history lesson.
You should be proud that I knew that.
Oh, there it goes. It kind of flashed there.
You should be proud that I knew that.
I'm glad you knew that. I think because I put it on Facebook.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It's I knew that.
Okay. Anyway, so
I watched the Wimbledon.
So thanks for
final.
ruining my story here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So back in 1936, there's this guy named, what the heck is your phone? What the hell? This is freaking me out.
Will you not worry about my phone?
Anyway, so back in 1936, it's our timer. It's all we got. Back in 1936, a British man named Fred Perry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Adolf Hitler, but anyway, go ahead.
Come on, man. Jeez Louise, man. Back in 1936, a man named Fred Perry, a British man named Fred Perry, won Wimbledon.
And he should have been gone. Oh wait, that's Steve Perry.
And then that was the last British man to win Wimbledon in a 77-year drought. It was almost a 76-year drought. Andy Murray made the final last year and couldn't beat the greatest of all time in Roger Federer. But he gets to the final this time. There's no Federer, no Nadal. There's just, the number one player in the world, but
Novak Djokovic is standing in his way.
And they've played in finals before. Usually Djokovic gets the better of him. But not only did Andy Murray win, Djokovic didn't even win a set. He didn't even win a set.
Don't worry about it.
I can't even see it.
That's good. Go.
He didn't even win a set, which is odd for Djokovic not to win a set. He hasn't done that. Not won a set in a Grand Slam since the 2010 Wimbledon.
I taught. What did he tap?
I did. The 2010 Wimbledon quarters against Tomas Berdych. So it's been over 3 years since he hasn't.
He blew a 4-2 lead in the second set. He had Andy Murray 4-2 in the second set, and Murray comes storming back to take that set 6-4.
So the second set was 7-5.
Yeah,
6-4, 7-5.
But he was ahead 4-2, and he let Murray come back.
Yeah, he said, I'll get to those questions too. It was honestly, here's me personally. And I said I know we didn't have show, but I made a huge status update on my Facebook page. I said Andy Murray was going to win. I wanted Djokovic to win because I like Djokovic. I do like Djokovic, but I said Murray was going to win. I mean, you don't have anybody in your way. If the tournament played out like it's supposed to, Nadal and Federer would have played in the quarters, and that's a toss-up right now anyway. So to say Federer wins, because Federer's probably a little bit better on grass than Nadal is. Federer plays Murray. Does Murray win that match? Probably not. If he does, it's really close, and that takes a lot of emotion. It would just be emotional enough for him to get out of that match against Federer. Would he be able to recover for the final? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. They're not there. Same thing like when Federer won the French Open in 2009. Was Nadal there? No. Does it matter? No, he still has the French Open. What's the difference? So, Murray now ends the 77-year drought of British man winning Wimbledon. It was total jubilation from
Place was nuts.
Just from the All England Club to Dunblane, Scotland, where Murray's from.
2.3 million people tuned in Scotland. Now this is what astounds me. This just shows you the technology difference in the United States and Scotland, okay? 2.3 million people in Scotland tuned in to watch the Wimbledon final. That was 97% of the TVs.
Wow.
97%.
You wouldn't see that for
2.3 million.
You wouldn't see that for an American player in the U.S. Open final. It's not going to happen.
Well, the fact that the 2.3 million people is 97% it just shows you how small or how little amount of TVs there are in Scotland.
Right. But yeah, the crowd. I mean, the crowd. Obviously was behind him every point, every step of the way. And as soon as he won, the crowd, raised up, and even Yvonne Lendl cracked a smile, which is kind of rare.
That's his coach, right?
Yeah, because and Murray was, it wasn't emotional as last year. It was still emotional, and I felt for Yvonne Lendl because Yvonne Lendl never won Wimbledon. He came so close in his career, and Murray said, "This one's for you too." So that was kind of a nice gesture. And it was funny when he went to the stands. Pat Cash started this one, I think, in the '80s when Pat Cash won Wimbledon. He went to the crowd and went to his box. And Murray went to his box and was talking to his girlfriend, his coach, and his team. And he goes, before he goes back down, he forgets his mom. And she has to scream, and he comes back, and obviously his mom.
Auntie, you forgot to give me a hug.
His mom, Judy Murray, obviously was the one that taught him how to play when he was a kid. Obviously, he owes a lot to her as well. So actually, we're running
quick on time, so we'll take a quick break.
We'll come back. I'll cover a little bit more Wimbledon about the women's final, and then I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the real reason why Novak Djokovic lost. Hang on, we'll be right back.
Cliffhanger.
We really wanted to take a relaxing trip to Florida, just to unwind. But we can only afford one trip this year, and his high school reunion is coming up in Seattle.
Everyone's going. Then we heard about Hotwire and realized we could actually afford to take both trips.
See, when really nice hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them. So we got our 4-star hotels for half price.
I should have been voted most likely to travel.
HOTWIRE, hotwire.com.
Save big on car rentals, too, from $11.95 a day.
And we're back here on Triple Threat Talk. Postmaster Jones, along with my esteemed colleague, Big B. Brandon DeMiro, talking about the lovely sport of tennis with Wimbledon, and of course the big win for Mr. Andy Murray, the first man since Fred Perry in 1936 from Great Britain area to win that, which was outstanding. I was tuned in.
Like what? You were last year?
Yeah, I tuned in last year. There's something about Wimbledon that makes me tune in. I don't know.
It's proper.
It's apparently... And the fact that NASCAR's on Saturday night, and I think that's.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Anyway, so obviously, big huge congratulations to Murray and his team. I mean, they've done. He's won 2 out of the last 3 grands. He's won 2 out of the last 4. He won the U.S. Open in 2012, and then Wimbledon this year. So obviously, that question, I'll judge that. Do you think anyone will hold more than 1 if he wins the U.S. Open? If he does successfully defend the U.S. Open, will he be number 1? I don't think so. Again, it depends about the points in the summer. The U.S. Open Series with Cincinnati and all those tournaments on the hard court, Toronto, Richmond. There's a lot of tournaments going on before the U.S. Open Series, so it depends with that. And again, it depends where Djokovic goes. Djokovic is still number 1. Djokovic was in the final last year, so if Djokovic makes the final or somewhere there, then again, both of them are under microscopes, because if Murray falls early in the U.S. Open, his points drop. And so if Djokovic loses early and Murray wins, he could be number 1. But I don't see Djokovic the best hardcourt player in the world, so I don't think him having any slipping. I think he's a clear favorite to get to the final, if not win the whole thing. And he said how much of the crowd. I mean, the crowd played a huge dividend. They were behind Murray every step of the way.
Oh yeah, you can tell it was a very pro Murray crowd.
And before I finish off with Andy Murray thing. Definitely congratulations to Marion Bartoli, who won the women's championship, beating Sabine Lisicki. Lisicki she looked flat.
She was crying.
She wasn't moving as well as she had in the previous rounds. I mean, it was hard for her because you knock out people like Serena and Radwanska and 2 great.
I watched that too, by the way.
Great players.
The women's final.
And obviously, I was hanging on every point with Radwanska because Radwanska was my favorite female player. And for her to lose that, obviously, I felt emotional for her because she would never have a better chance in her career to win a Grand Slam because no one was in her way. Nobody was in her way. No Azarenka, no Sharapova, no Williams. No one was in her way. And she was 7-0 against Bartoli. So Radwanska was 2 points away from winning that match against Lisicki and probably winning her first Grand Slam title. But she's got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what she's got to do. But the women's final, I mean, Lisicki played the best tournament of anybody. And credit her more. She's allergic to grass. If you didn't know, she's allergic to grass, which is remarkable that she was able to play as well as she did. But then, her serve was off. She's making a lot of errors against Bartoli. Bartoli was really bludgeoning the ball. Congratulations to her for winning her first Grand Slam. She was a final 6 years ago against Venus Williams, 2007, and this time she wins her first Grand Slam title. And then I was saying, I'll tell you the real reason Novak Djokovic didn't win the Wimbledon championship. This is facetious. I'm just joking. But every year, the women's champion, the men's champion, they go to the Wimbledon ball and they dance with each other. Well, Djokovic lost because he didn't want to dance with Marion Bartoli. I'm obviously joking, but obviously Bartoli's a very pretty young woman. And Murray and Djokovic watching the final, like, you know what? You can dance, but I don't want to play.
I like that. That's a good reason as any.
Now, if we had a time machine, we go back in time, and if Lisicki won, would Djokovic win? There's the question for another day. But
conspiracy theories of my own.
As wacky as Wimbledon was, the men's final wasn't too far fetched because there's number 1, 2 players, and then the women's final was a little bit kind of out there.
Yes, definitely.
So, but definitely a great Grand Slam. Looking forward to August of the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open Series is coming up. Gonna try to go to Cincinnati in August, see if I can do that, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
Long headline.
That's good stuff, though. It's a major sporting event every year. It is one of the probably, if I would have to guess, top 5 worldwide sporting events.
The biggest tennis tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest tennis tournament, So, by the way, even though I watched, I didn't really pay it. Was any of royalty there this time? I know they were there last year, but
I didn't see any.
I know.
I mean, usually I watched every single chance I could of Wimbledon through the whole 2
I
weeks.
know they're usually there. They try to
And
be.
the thing that's weird, I remember last year.
I remember they were there last year because Kate Middleton was right at court watching.
Yeah, and I remember last year they usually have a match where the Queen will watch, and they battle the Queen. I don't remember seeing that this year, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I didn't see.
I mean, I know she's expecting any day, so that's probably why she wasn't there.
Right, but I didn't see any.
But I didn't know. I watched the final, and I watched the women's final. And I didn't see any of the royalty. Is it
royalty?
Yeah.
Well, I did see Gerard Butler and Bradley Cooper in the finals. That's for sure.
Well, there you go.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's always good, right?
That was good.
A little American acting royalty.
Yes.
So with batting the ball and racket, we move to turning left. I'm going left with NASCAR.
I'm stuck. I can't move.
That's okay. I'll bump you back to the other side. So NASCAR this past week at the most probably the famous track in all of NASCAR, Daytona, for the Midsummer Classic. We had a really good race. We had several wrecks, which is to be expected in a restrictor plate. We had a green-white checkered finish, which if you don't know what that is, that means if a caution is thrown before the white flag, like a couple laps before the white flag, the race gets thrown into overtime. You get 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. If on the 3rd attempt there was a wreck, the field is frozen and whoever's winning is ahead. So it's kind of like overtime, the NASCAR version. Last week, before Daytona, 31 teams, 16 Sprint Cup teams, and 15 nationwide teams had illegal roof flap spacers on their cars. So 31 teams were, yes.
What is that?
Okay, I can't draw you a picture, so I'll try to explain it the best.
Can you paint it?
I can try.
Can you draw it on the board?
I'll try.
Can you draw it on the board?
No, but I'll try and explain it to you best I can. On these Cup cars and nationwide cars, they have a flap on the roof. For when a car wrecks or tries to get up in there, these flaps will open up. Right. Well, the reason being is to help keep the car down and to keep it on the ground so it doesn't fly up into the fence or into the stands.
So it's for safety.
Yeah, it's safety reasons. Well, these 31 teams had a spacing unit in there that didn't really jive turkey with NASCAR, and they were like, "What are you all doing here?" So it was what made it even more kind of odd was it was all Fords and Toyotas, and only one Chevrolet was found with this infraction. But the crazy thing was apparently NASCAR didn't see it to be too big of a problem because they ruled today that no fines and penalties will be leveled to the 31 teams, although they all did get a stern talking to and kind of a slap on the hand, and they said they would work with them. And they actually even talked to say that it's a possibility that the roof flap spacers they were using were actually better than the ones mandated by NASCAR. So this might actually bring about a change that's actually even better. So sometimes, you know, whether it be the powers that be at NASCAR, NFL, NBA, you know, or whatever, sometimes they don't always have to be the stern, you know, big brother, you know, laying the law down. They can sometimes, you know, be helpful. And in this case, apparently it turned out to be a more helpful case than a hurtful case. So, but getting to the race on Saturday, Jimmy Johnson picked up the win in the Lowe's White Lightning 48. His 4th win of the season, tied with Matt Kenseth for the most on the tour with 4. Tony Stewart, the Smoke Show, finished 2nd. Good run for him. Clint Boyer right there in 3rd. Kevin Harvick 4th. Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Harvick 3rd. Clint Boyer 4th. But it was a good race. It was very exciting. They moved to the Magic Mile of New Hampshire Motor Speedway this week.
New Hampshire.
Yep. They will run New Hampshire, the last race of the season for TNT. And they would take a week off. They're off next week to prepare for Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which will be my 3rd Sprint Cup race of the season. And that's when ESPN ABC will take over. So after next week, every race from here on out will be on the 4-letter network.
Yes,
so.
and he will be covering the network for ESPN when he goes there.
Yeah, that's right. I only wish. Right?
That was his wild card. I spoiled it.
Yeah, you spoiled my wild card. And real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out here. If you can see this, I don't know if you can.
Probably can.
This is a hat.
Yes, it is a hat. It's very good.
I know. Right here is a logo. It says the logo Left Turn. This hat is for Jason Leffler. This is a specially designed hat you can pick up through the www.caseycanestore.com. Over 7,000 of these were ordered. It took me nearly 3 weeks to get this because there were so many people on order. It's a fitted hat. $20 if you're a racing fan and you have respect and you want to help out his son Charlie Leffler. Every dollar goes to the Charlie Leffler discretionary fund.
How much was shipping? Was it free?
Shipping was like $6.
So it's like $27.
So $27 for.
Can you only get that online, or can you buy it anywhere?
You can only get it online at the CaseyCaneStore.com. Definitely, if you're a race fan, if you want to pick this up and help out the Leffler family, it's an awesome get. Like I said. It's over 7,000 of these were ordered. So you figure at $20 a pop, that's a very good chunk of change.
$14,000.
So it's good. It's more than that.
Minus shipping. Yeah.
20 times 7,000.
Oh wow.
So that failed math. That's 240,000. No.
We can't do math here.
Yeah, we can't do math, but it's a lot of money, which is great stuff.
$20 times 7,000.
Yeah.
That's 7 times 2 is 49. Right?
So it's $140,000.
No.
Yeah.
7 times 2 is.
Yeah, because 7,000 times 2 would be 14.
Okay.
7,000 times 20 would be 140.
140,000.
So 140,000.
What a pathetic display here.
$140,000 just in hats donation.
Where's my abacus?
So good stuff.
Where's my
good
abacus?
stuff there. So moving on from a lighthearted story
that was a pathetic display of lack of math.
Exactly. Needless to say, it's been a while since I was in high school.
My teacher would be disappointed for sure.
That's right. So from that lighthearted story to a story that we don't like to cover, but we kind of have to cover, and that is the ongoing saga with one Aaron Hernandez.
Obviously we're getting near the break a little bit. This story's probably gonna
delve into the next
break. Actually, this week just 2 of us. But,
good stuff though. There's a lot of good topics.
Last year, wasn't it the Jerry Sandusky stuff?
Yeah, last year and the year before, I think.
Well,
I think that drug on for 2 years.
Yeah, drug on. Now we have this thing. When will it end? It's just every year something. There's Lance Armstrong. There's
the Balfour case. There's the biogenesis.
There's that Paralympic who shot his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now this thing. I definitely want to commend the New England Patriots for doing what they did in terms of giving everyone like an exchange for the jersey, which I appreciate.
$250,000 is what they lost.
There's a picture online of like a line of people at the store.
They're going to destroy them all.
Yeah.
Normally they would do other things with them, but they're destroying them.
And I agree. I agree 100% with Robert Kraft. He said they were duped. I believe they were. Mm-hmm. I mean, his track record wasn't the greatest, but I think he appeared like an outstanding young man.
Let me ask you this. Do you agree with him speaking out against his lawyers? Because his lawyers told him not to speak. Talking about Robert Kraft here, not Aaron Hernandez. His lawyers advised him to remain quiet. But he went against his lawyer's advice, and he still released a statement.
Right.
I didn't find anything wrong with anything he said.
Anything wrong with him? I mean, obviously, they were duped. I mean...
Right.
I mean, you're hiring a lawyer, obviously, and probably he's going to say, as your legal counsel, I think it's best if you don't say anything. I mean, he's paying good enough money, so maybe he should listen to the lawyer, but I don't think he said anything that telling or anything. He didn't say anything like, oh, by the way, back then, he didn't say, he just said we were duped, which is, everyone can figure that out.
Right.
And obviously, there was more stuff yesterday. There was a conversation that was listed online about the conversation that he had with Odin Lloyd. It has some colorful language in it. I won't go into it. And then there was a thing today that a witness that knew Aaron said he heard about him shooting Odin Lloyd.
So, he supposedly confessed to a accomplice,
right? So
that he did do it.
I said it before when we covered it. When his life is over, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life.
He's done.
And he had an opportunity to clean up because he went to college with one of the nicest young men you could ever meet, in Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow tried to help him. And if Tim Tebow can help you, then you're a lost cause, because Tim Tebow will probably stick with you to the bitter end to help you out.
Right.
and he didn't listen to him. He just did what he wanted to do. He ran with gangs when he was a kid, and he's paying for it now. He's in jail. He's going to be in jail the rest of his life. And you know what? I don't have any sympathy for him. I have sympathy for his kids, for his wife, for him. I don't have any sympathy for him. So when we get back from break, we're going to continue with the Aaron Hernandez story and hopefully finish headlines so we can get to wrestling here. More with Victor Cruz, Dwight Howard, and the MLB All Star Game right here on Triple Threat Talk. Do not go anywhere.
Good call on the original recipe.
Yeah, good call.
Love this stuff.
Yeah, totally. I kind of wolfed mine down. What's the matter?
I think I ate the bones. I think I ate the bones. I ate the bones! I ate the bones!
Settle down.
I ate the bones!
KFC original recipe. Now available without the bone. Freshly prepared white or dark meat chicken, boneless and skinless. Try 2 delicious mouth-watering pieces in a combo for only $4.99. Today tastes so good.
And welcome back here to Triple Threat Talk. I am Big B, Brandon here alongside Jimmy Postmaster Jones, and the doctor is somewhat invisible, but he really is not here. So we were talking about Aaron Hernandez before the break. And I said, I don't have sympathy for him. I have sympathy for his wife and kids, but not him. It's a shame because the guy went to one of the greatest colleges in all of sports, University of Florida. Mm-hmm. He played with one of the greatest quarterbacks, probably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in collegiate history, in Tim Tebow. He coached with a very successful college coach in Urban Meyer, led a team that had no chance of doing anything unless you're undefeated. So obviously they still performed like they could in Urban Meyer. He had every gift someone could be given.
He wanted to prove that he was still street. I really do think that's what it was. Like, I think he wanted to prove that just because it was big time in Florida, just because he got the huge contract with the Patriots, I think he wanted to prove to his buddies, and this is where you gotta, like, cut the rope here, let it go, move on. He wanted to prove that, I'm still tough, I'm still hard, I'm still that guy, I haven't changed, and I'm going to show you. And guess what? Now you're paying for it. And it's ridiculous that you would... Why would you even consider risking everything? I mean, why would you want to even do that? I mean, because you're a high-profile athlete and you're well known and you're rich and you have a lot of fame, I have no problem with you owning a gun or a weapon. I have no problem with
protection.
That's understandable. I'll give you that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against anybody owning a gun.
No.
But you're careless, and you have a past and you have a history of doing bad things. I mean, there's been stuff that has now come out that he's done in the past that, not obviously near as big, but he had a lot of issues in the past, like you said, and Tebow took him under his wing and tried to, help him and put him on the right track. And then he told the Patriots that he was going to clean up, and he even went as far as, like, he donated money to the Myra, is that her name, Myra Craft?
Myra Craft, yeah.
The Myra Craft Foundation, and he donated money to the Hispanic community. So it looked like he was trying.
That's why they said they were duped.
It really looked like he was trying, but apparently, all in all, it was all one big cover-up because he was still being the thug that he apparently is, and running the streets like he used to. And, I guess with some people, the truth is you're just not going to change them. There's no changing some people.
Yeah, even though people like to categorize as the NFL as a bunch of thugs, it's not fair to categorize because there's upstanding people in the NFL like Russell Wilson and Tim Tebow and Peyton Manning and, all those players that really do not really want to get they're playing the game because they were given a gift. They were given an opportunity that not many people can dream of being a starting quarterback in the NFL, to lead a team that you have a chance to win a Super Bowl and be forever revered as a sports figure. They know what they need to do to get there. And Peyton Manning's done it before. Tom Brady, I don't think Tom Brady would ever do anything like that. Tom Brady knows what he's doing. I mean, you don't see this from a lot of people, but what happens? It does happen, but I mean, you have people getting DUIs here and there, but nothing like this. I mean, O.J. Simpson, that's another thing. But
oh boy, it's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. He had a golden opportunity to play with a team that had potential of winning many Super Bowls, and now he just instead of sitting on the bench, laughing it up, scoring touchdowns from arguably the greatest quarterback who ever lived in Tom Brady, you're going to sit in jail for the rest of your life eating food you probably would never eat because you could afford anything you wanted when you play for the Patriots. And you're going to sit there, and unless you're stupid, you're going to think, wow, I really screwed up. I really messed up. You don't get second chances. You don't. Not like that. You kill somebody, you're gone. I don't care. I don't care if you apologize 100,000 times. You did it. Doesn't matter.
Yep. It's definitely not a good thing, that's for sure. But Big B, moving on to something a little light-hearted, obviously, a little better news. How much of a salsa dance do you think Victor Cruz is doing this week?
Well, he obviously wanted a bigger
contract. He got what he wanted.
He did. Obviously, people were saying, the Giants love that guy. I mean,
they love him just as much as they love Eli Manning.
Yeah.
I think.
Me, Michael Phelps.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean, he's their go-to receiver. He obviously is very personable because of the salsa touchdown dance. The Giants, they gave him what he wanted, and he's gonna produce for them for sure. So
yeah, I mean, it was a good contract to get. I think it was an 8-year deal. On top of the already, I think $3 million he's going to get this year.
Yeah, he's going to get paid.
He
deserves to get paid. He's good. He's very good.
So Eli has one of probably his favorite target locked up. Mm-hmm. So it'll probably be Eli and Victor through the rest of their career. I don't see Eli going anywhere.
I mean, obviously we'll get to football when we get to it, but I don't think the Giants will do anything this year at all.
They may not, but I'm not looking at that.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying from the standpoint of his arsenal. And
they'll have a good offense.
And now their next obstacle will obviously to be lock up Hakeem Nicks. He's a free agent after this year, so they're going to have to do that. So free agency news out of the NBA. I'm going to the Houston Rockets. No. I think I might have changed my mind. I need more time to think about it, but I can't decide if I want to go to Colorado and think about it or Montana and think about it.
Okay.
But on second thought, yeah, I think I am going to go with the Rockets.
Okay.
So
congratulations. Enjoy.
Can you be more of an idiot?
Well,
Dwight Howard is the biggest baby I've ever seen.
At least he didn't have a whole hour special and say, I'm taking my talents to Houston.
No, but he had Twitter amok.
Yeah.
He had the internet amok. He had ESPN. He had poor Chris Broussard pulling his hair out. There's not much there to begin with. So it's
pulling out the beard, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. But Dwight Howard, first off, the biggest mistake he ever made was going to the Los Angeles Lakers.
I agree. I think, now again, when he was with Orlando, he was the best center in the NBA, by far. But he didn't have enough pieces around him. They got to the final. This is how good Dwight Howard is. The Orlando Magic got to the finals because of him. Because of him. There's nobody else on that team.
And that's the problem. You've answered the problem. Yeah. Because this is why. In Orlando, a small town, Dwight Howard is Jaws. Yeah. Dwight Howard comes to LA and the Lakers. Kobe Bryant is Jaws twice over.
Yeah.
And Dwight Howard is chum. He's fist chum.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't take the fact that he wasn't going to be number one.
Well, he's not going to be number one in Houston either.
I know. I don't
James
think
Harden.
so. I don't think so. Jeremy Lin, James Harden.
Jeremy Lin's not.
Well, he's still good.
He's good, but he's not.
No, but James Harden.
He's not better than James Harden.
But
as much as I like Jeremy Lin, he's not.
And then to say, what kind of crap is I can't decide where I want to go clear my head? When you can't even decide where you want to go to clear your head, you know something is wrong. I mean, I don't get it. And it's like
I can sit in my car and clear my head. It doesn't matter what state I'm in. I could be in Seattle, Kentucky. I don't care.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but it definitely had people. I just don't get how you go from I'm going to Houston to having second thoughts. So it's 50-50 between LA and Houston, and then not even an hour later, he tweets a picture and he's confirming he's Houston.
James Harden. Yeah.
I'm like,
and then after he tweeted that picture, he lost a follower. He lost Kobe Bryant.
No. And Kobe Bryant said he didn't mean no disrespect, but he couldn't follow anybody that was a threat to beat his team. That was his quote.
Okay.
So
he can't follow anybody. Now we take Twitter so seriously. I can't. No disrespect, but I can't follow anyone. So I don't want to see your updates. So I don't want to see when you're going to eat a hot dog or going to walk your dog or taking your kids. I don't want to know about.
You beat us by 30 points last week, so I can't follow you.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
It's a good pickup for them. That Kendra.
Yeah, I mean it's a great pickup for the Rockets.
Yeah, I mean they have Harden, they have Lynn, they have Chandler Parsons. Now they have Dwight. They got a good team. I mean, I was hoping to go to Golden State that way I could really root for them because that's my team. But they got Andre Iguodala, a good pickup for them. They lost Jarrett Jack. I like Jarrett Jack. JJ Redick, who we all know what's a Duke.
JJ Redick.
He's going to a team now where he can actually win. He's on the Clippers before he's on the Bucks, which they made the playoffs with a losing record. But JJ Redick's now on the Clippers, which he should do some good stuff there. So that's the NBA side of things.
One other NBA note.
Oh, okay.
That we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Maddox?
No, Brad Stevens.
So another Brad's in charge now.
Yeah. From the University of Butler.
Go Bulldogs.
He doesn't take a promotion within college. He's been at Butler for years. He doesn't say move to North Carolina or Duke or Louisville or Kentucky or a more higher profile college job. What does he do? He goes to the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
I love the hire. And here's why. And this is why.
Okay.
I want to get my thought here. The oldest guy on the team is Rondo. He's 27.
They're rebuilding,
They got a slew of draft picks coming. Every other guy on the team is like 22, 23, 24, 21, and then you got all these draft picks coming in. Brad Stevens is the perfect fit. These guys are college basketball age. They're rebuilding. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I love the hire.
It was a surprise that they took him because of, obviously there's other coaches in the NBA that come and take, like Vinny Del Negro, who was the coach of the Clippers, who I think unceremoniously got fired, but he got fired because him and Chris Paul didn't mesh. I agree with you. I like the hire because of the age difference. I mean, Paul Pierce, Garnett, and Dix, they're all in they're going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett's gone.
The Nets.
They're all gone.
They're all playing the Nets.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting lineup for them. Hopefully they can afford it. The Nets we're just teams now. I like it too. I agree with you. The age thing. I mean,
it's great.
Rondo's a stud. I mean, there's no doubt Rondo's one of the best players in the NBA. And they're gonna take a while to rebuild, I believe, but it's a good pick. I really like it.
If you build the right players around Rondo, within 2 years the Celtics will be a force to be reckoned.
I agree.
I think so.
I agree. I mean, Rondo has to stay healthy, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I know Rondo has a tendency to be injury prone, but
I think Stevens and Rondo need to get together and says, you know what, I'm here now. I'm really looking for this opportunity. What can I do to you to help you stay with this team and build this team around and see what you want? And obviously, Rondo's going to help him pick. We want something because Rondo is the star of that team.
And I think a lot of people now are looking at Danny Ainge saying, what an idiot. But I think in 2 years they're going to say, what a genius. Yeah. I really do. So, some quick MLB All Star news. The manager of the Giants, Bruce Bochy, decides not to select Puig, Miguel Puig. Instead, he is in line for the final vote, the fan vote.
He's trailing Freddie.
He's probably not going to win.
He's trailing Freddie Freeman right now
by quite a bit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So his peers agree that he doesn't deserve to get in.
That's absolutely a joke.
Several of them have said, he's only had like 100 at bats. Why does he deserve to get into the All Star game?
That's an absolute joke.
I agree.
He's made the Dodgers relevant. He saved what's the
Don Mattingly.
Thank you. He saved Don Mattingly's job.
I agree, but in a way I agree with them because we know how baseball works. They're all about olden things and the way things are. And yes, I agree. He turned the Dodgers around. I get it. But also, you got to... I think the GM for the Dodgers was on the radio the other day, and I heard him say something like, they've had like 16 disabled list transactions already this year. So they've been riddled with injury. You can't blame Don Mattingly for being riddled with injury. It's not his fault. These guys are dropping like mosquitoes in the summertime.
Yeah.
I mean, but so Puig does not get in. He is trailing Freddie Freeman for the final vote. It's looking like he's probably not going to win that either because the Braves are widely popular, obviously, and Freddie Freeman is a popular guy even by people who aren't Braves fans.
He's playing good too.
So we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, All Star Game is this Tuesday. Home Run Derby's on Monday. Bryce Harper's in it. He's going to do really well, I think. Is that still playing the Home Run Derby?
No, I don't think so.
Jeez Louise.
Yep.
But the home run derby and they're also going to take place at Citi Field in New York. Definitely.
Your Mets.
Yeah, my Mets. My Mets, right?
We'll actually get to see some winning baseball in that stadium. So with that wraps up headlines this week.
They beat the Giants 2 games in a row, so they're also after the All-Star break. It's all the Amazings are back.
Oh, you're gonna be like the A's in Moneyball, huh?
Yeah,
Just wait till the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Just wait till the All-Star break. So with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into our good friend Brian Cannon with OVW coverage, and we'll preview Money in the Bank right after this on Triple Threat Talk. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Nick Dinsmore here. Do you have the dream of becoming a pro wrestler? Well, I did, and I came to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. I'm a former WWE superstar. I'm a former 9-time Ohio Valley Wrestling heavyweight champion, and I can train you to be the best today. For all the information regarding the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class, go to ovwrestling.com and click on school. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. ovwrestling.com, click on school.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. Postmaster Jones, Jimmy Biggers, along with Big B, Brendan DeMuro, who informed me during the break that he's never seen Moneyball. I tell you.
And another one, just the other day, was the first time I saw all of Varsity Blues. Don't hate me.
You know what it is? I think those Cars.com commercials that James Vanderbeek inspired you to see Varsity Blues because he's playing that character in that commercial.
I never saw those yet, so.
You haven't seen those either?
No.
You're just failing all the way around. So let's take it to a guy who isn't failing. Our good friend Brian Cannon with this week's OVW update. Mr. Cannon, take it away.
Hey everybody, Brian Cannon here once again with another edition of OVW Mania on Triple Threat Talk for episode 106. I'm going to start off this week by talking about the latest edition of OVW Television, which is episode number 723. It was filmed Wednesday night, June 26th at the Davis Arena, released online on ovwrestling.com and blip.tv Thursday the 27th, and then aired on WDNA's Ion 21 Saturday the 29th. The show started off with a tribute to Jackie Fargo. He was a big name here in Louisville and in the Memphis area. He had some big fights with Jerry the King Lawler. They actually showed a clip from a match he had with Lawler. And then they had everyone in attendance stand while they did the 10-bell salute. He passed away last week. And that's how they got underway. Once the actual show started, the Coalition came out. Crimson and Jason Wayne joked about how the terrorist level in OVW had been downgraded to yellow, just like the backs of Michael Hayes and Ali after they'd spray painted them last week. And they said they can tell you how cowardly Hayes and Ali are because they're not even here tonight to face them. And then at that point, Michael Hayes' music hit, and him and Ali came to the ring along with Rudy Switchblade, Rockstar Spud, and Ryan Howe. Ali said that they are here and they don't want to wait till the Saturday night special. They want a match against Crimson and Jason Wayne, and they want it for the tag titles tonight. At first, Crimson and Jason Wayne declined and then continued to poke fun at how Crimson and Wayne, are the real heroes and Hayes and Ali are not. And Crimson goes as far as saying that Michael Hayes was nothing more than a short order cook. Which really got under his skin, and it started a fight between them. And then, of course, the rest of the Coalition, along with Rudy, Ryan Howe, and Rockstar Spud, all got involved. So they're all going at it. And then, just like the previous week where the Generals Crimson and Wayne had taken out Sam Shaw, they set up a chair in the corner again. And this time they threw Ali into it shoulder first, injuring his arm. And while all the guys were checking on Ali and helping him to the back, the Coalition actually stayed at ringside. And then it looked like Crimson had got this bright idea. He gets back in the ring and he says that now he's willing to accept the match, and he asks Chris Sharp to go ahead and start the count. Chris Sharp gets about 6 or 7 in the count, and the music hits. Michael Hayes comes back out by himself, even though Rudy, Spud, and Hal all tell him, hey, you don't have to do this. You can wait for Ali. But Michael Hayes is ready and willing to go. So he starts the match by himself and is doing a pretty good job, but about halfway through it, Ali does make it back out with his arm in a sling. He gets the hot tag. He's doing pretty well. But once again, the rest of the coalition get involved, as well as Spud, Hal, and Rudy. Sharp does not call for the bell in the middle of all this, though. And Michael Hayes ends up grabbing Jason Wayne's baton and giving him a taste of his own medicine, knocks him in the back with the baton. Ali ends up getting the pin, and we have new OVW Southern Tag Team Champions in Muhammad Ali Vaez and Michael Hayes. So congratulations to the both of them. It was kind of a surprise, especially with them supposed to be having the match at the next Saturday Night Special. I'm not sure if that's still going to be on with Hayes and Ali now the champions, or if there's going to be a change now that they are the champions. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens next week on TV before the Saturday Night Special. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Also on this show, Jesse Goddard, who's had a run of bad luck lately, he said that he doesn't need the fans, he doesn't need Rudy, and he doesn't need his agent who fired him last week. He said that he's a big boy, he can do things on his own, he can book his own matches, and he challenges and then dares anyone to come out of the locker room to face him. And he gets a surprise when Marcus Anthony comes out to answer his challenge. And Marcus Anthony ends up defeating him with the Gamma Punch. We see backstage Jay Bradley walking out of Danny Davis's office, upset about the number one contender situation. He approaches Dylan Bostic in the back and actually makes some jokes at Bostic's expense, saying that Jamin Olivencia is no bigger than he is, and Dylan goes, "What is that supposed to mean?" But Jay says that he's a pay-per-view star, he's in the Bound for Glory series, and he would think that besides eventually becoming the new TNA champion, as he thinks he will be, you would think they'd want him to be the OVW champion as well. He said, "How many times do I have to boomstick Jamin before I can, get a title shot?" And Jamin walks up to him and says, "Hey, tough guy, how about later tonight we settle this one-on-one non-title match?" It was, but that was the main event for the evening. The next match was a TV title match. Randy Royal once again facing his former friend Tony Gunn. In the middle of the match, as Tony Gunn's trying to roll up Randy Royal with a bridge, Randy accidentally, we think, maybe, hit Josh Ashcraft in the face. And while Ashcraft was down, Randy Royal kicked Tony below the belt and got the quick pin on him. So he's still the TV champion, but then after the match, Tony Gunn attacked him, and it seems like this rivalry is far from over. Then in the main event, Jay Bradley actually beat Jamin Olivencia, but it was by disqualification. Towards the end of the match, Jay and Jamin ran headfirst into each other, which knocked Jay out of the ring. And before he got back in, he grabbed a chair away from ring announcer Terry Bodie and brought it in. He was about to hit Jamin with it, but Rob Terry, who was out on commentary for the match, got in the ring, grabbed the chair away from Jay, and ended up hitting Jay with it to cause a disqualification. And then he wound up to go hit Jay again, but Jay moved out of the way, and Rob ended up hitting Jamin Olivencia across the back. And after the match, Jamin wasn't too happy. He doesn't know whether Rob did it on purpose or not, but it doesn't matter. The two of them will be facing off at the next Saturday Night Special for the OVW Heavyweight title. And I'll be talking a little bit about that in just a moment, but I'm going to take a real quick break, and we'll go over SNS as well as a couple other little tidbits before we head back to the guys in the Triple Threat studio. Welcome back, everybody. You just saw a commercial for the Saturday night special, the next one being on Saturday, July 6th at the Davis Arena with a bell time of 7:30. The only thing we really know for sure at this point is that the OVW heavyweight title will be on the line. Jamin Olivencia will be defending against the Welsh Colossus, Rob Terry. I'm unsure if, after having the match last week and we now having new OVW Southern Tag Team Champions, if we will have another match between Hayes and Ali against the Coalition Generals. That was originally confirmed, but after them having the match last week on TV, we're not so sure now, so we'll kind of have to play it by ear on that. And some other matches that I think might happen that, again, are not confirmed yet. I'm hoping they have more of a confirmed list of things that are going to happen. I guess we'll find out Wednesday, July 3rd, before the Saturday night special. But I would think there's a possibility we might see Randy Royal and Tony Gunn face off once again for the OVW television title. And I think there's a chance we might see the women's title on the line with Trina, the current champion, defending against Taylor Hendricks. Again, take that with a grain of salt for the moment, but it'll still be a good show. They always put on good shows on Saturdays. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But I'll talk more about that next week on the show. If you decide to go to the show, don't forget you can get tickets in advance at any live event or by going to the Fan Advocate and ring announcer Terry Bodie's website, thefanadvocate.com. They're $10 in advance. They're $12 if you wait till the night of the event and try to buy them at the door. And there's no guarantee you'll get in because a lot of times these SNSs sell out. So I would definitely recommend saving yourself a couple bucks and getting a ticket in advance, making sure you're there because it should be a great show. Speaking of Terry Bodie, I'd like to thank him as well as referee Chris Sharp for all they do to help get my news and information out. You can follow them on Twitter at TPBodie, that's TPBODDIE, and at Ref Chris Sharp, and that's Sharp with the E at the end. Like I said, they both do a great job retweeting my stuff, sharing it on Facebook, and I try to help Sharp out with retweeting links for his podcast that I mentioned last week as well. Those podcasts are a lot of fun to listen to. He has a new one up this week with former OVW ring announcer and commentator Timmy Baltimore, and that was a real fun listen. So make sure you check those out. It's on iPatio.com. Just search for Chris Sharp's wrestling podcast that only kind of has to do with wrestling. You should be able to find it on there. Like I said, he tweets out the links for him, and I'll retweet them as well. So, of course, you can follow me at @TheBrianCannon, and also my website, of course, ovwmania.blogspot.com, the place for all the results of the TV tapings and the Saturday night specials, as well as my top 20 and any other news or info I might have to pass along. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, it wasn't actually part of the show, but Ryan Howe, actually on Impact last week, got a chance on Gut Check. It was a losing effort to Adam O'Reiner, who's known as the Big O, but he still has a chance to win a TNA contract, and I think there's a good chance that he could get signed. He's actually teaming down here. He's teamed a couple times now with Rockstar Spud, and last week they teamed together under a new tag team name of the Really Really New Rockers, and they beat 4M and Paradise in a dark match to end the night last week. So if Hal is able to win the TNA contract through Gut Check, I would think there's a chance you might actually see him and Spud as the Really Really New Rockers on Impact in the future. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens with that, though. And speaking of TNA, if you're in the Louisville area, don't forget they're coming to the Broadbent Arena on Thursday, July 18th. You can still order tickets through Ticketmaster.com. They start as low as $15. Of course, that's before all of Ticketmaster's fees and service charges and all that good stuff. But me and the Triple Threat Talk guys are going. We're only like 11 rows away from ringside, and the tickets were only like $35 after all the fees and taxes and that, which isn't bad at all. But I know there's still tickets left, so if you're interested in going, it should be a good night. If you've been keeping up with TNA at all, on July 18th, they'll be doing 2 TV tapings, and one of them The first one, I believe, is Destination X, where whoever the X Division champion is has the option of giving up their title to be able to face the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, which in this case, they had a match last week, a triple threat match for the X Division title. Chris Sabin was defending against Kenny King and Suicide. Suicide got the win, but it wasn't the normal Suicide. It was Austin Aries that was donning the mask. So he is now the X Division champion, and unless things change in the next couple of weeks before July 18th, I would say we're going to see a pretty good main event for the world title with Austin Aries getting a chance, if he decides to cash in the X Division title, to face Bully Ray for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So it should be a really good show. I hope it is. Like I said, unless things change before then. The only other thing I want to mention before we go is, I don't know if this will be released on Thursday with it being the holiday, but if it is, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to everybody. Hopefully you enjoy a lot of good food and family and fireworks, but please be careful. Please don't blow yourself up or anything with the fireworks. If you're watching this afterwards, hopefully you had a great 4th of July. And that's pretty much it for this week. So next week I'll be talking about the next OVW episode, and I guess Saturday Night Special as well. So that ends it for this week. Thanks as always for tuning in and watching, and I'm going to send it back to the guys in the studio.
Good stuff with Brian as always.
Yep, definitely. He gave us some stuff with OVW. I think he talked about the Saturday Night Special there. Previewed OVW upcoming this week. TNA, which we'll be in attendance at next week. I know it's hard to believe against all odds.
Another first ever TNA event for this guy.
I've been to several.
Why?
But if you remember me telling you, I went back pre-2008. I went like 4 or 5 times. When they were good and they were worth the money to go, and when I actually traveled to.
So you haven't been there in a while, have you?
Where?
Like you haven't been post 2007.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, once. Right?
Once or twice I went, but
this is a taping.
I know.
So look for us on.
But I've been to Slammiversary before.
Okay. Look for us on Spike TV. We'll probably see it because it's not many people there. It's at Failbent.
Yes. A small arena here in town.
It should be Yumster, but they probably couldn't get Yumster.
They couldn't fill it halfway. Let alone, they couldn't even fill it a quarter. They couldn't fill the lower bowl.
Hear ye. Anybody wants to be a seat filler, we need about 10,000.
Probably 20,000.
No, what the whole arena.
5,000 people show up here. So with that, let's get into a company that does matter, WWE.
I mean, I'm crossing my fingers. They're through 7 months out of the year. They're still doing pretty good.
And we'll go back to a question that the Buck and Five asked.
Oh yeah.
What did you think about the Wyatt family and their debut on Monday?
Very creepy. It was very dark.
I liked it.
I did.
Husky Harris did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
I knew that was going to happen.
I figured. It showed, obviously, this group has been looked at for a long time, just because of just, their promos. But I think a lot of people liked Husky Harris. Now he's his new character, Bray Wyatt. I think people have been following FCW like I have.
You think they'll get around that? I mean, honestly,
maybe.
how do you think it'll take a while for, there won't be that many Husky Harris chants? Because, I mean, you don't hear that many Skip Sheffield chants anymore.
You hear Goldberg.
You hear Goldberg.
I don't think did you ever really hear Bryan Danielson chants?
No, but that's different.
Yeah.
Most people that watch WWE don't watch ROH. A lot of people.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because
because it's hard to watch, and if
Yeah. I hope not, because I think this gimmick's really good. I like it.
I mean, I'm just worried that yes, the gimmick is really good. I agree with you. I'm just worried that they're not going to, look past the fact that he was Husky Harris.
Yeah, I guess. I hope they do. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Some other things that happened on Raw. Vicky Guerrero,
as we mentioned earlier,
a job evaluation. She was fired. And Beef Wellington. They've got beef. Brad Maddox, because Vince McMahon said this is what the people deserve. is the new Raw general manager, but I don't see that lasting very long.
Oh, he could do a good job.
He could, but I got a feeling that on Monday or maybe even Sunday something might happen because I don't think Triple H is going to stand for Brad Maddox.
I did like the interaction between Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H, and he's like, Vince is like, I know the daughter, my daddy's little girl, make the right decision. And Triple H's like,
my wife,
the mother of my children, have to come home to me. We'll make the right decision.
So she did the smart decision and left it up to the WWE-Universe.
And then Vince went to back his Mr. McMahon. He's like, you people know nothing.
And apparently Vicky ruined his jacket.
Yeah, he ruined my jacket.
But
he can afford another one.
Exactly. So other than Money in the Bank build-up, there wasn't much happening on Raw. I know you had said there's a possibility that they're playing up the Kane injury, that he may not be in the Money in the Bank match.
He wasn't my pick anyway.
But that they may go with Bray Wyatt there as a fill-in, which that would actually be pretty good. I mean, yeah, he's just starting.
I mean, he's starting a new gimmick. He's not new. But.
Yeah, but so with that, we'll get into Money in the Bank pick'ems.
Do you like my pre-show link there?
I like it. The WWE.com, Yahoo.com, Facebook.com, WWE app pre-show match. The Usos versus The Shield.
This is a tough one because
I have a feeling the Usos, as much as it hates to say it, the Usos could win.
I mean, they could, but the one reason I'm not picking them is because it's on a pre-show.
Yeah.
And I think if they want to see a new champion crown, I think they would put it on the actual card.
Well, there was a title change on a pre-show a couple pay-per-views ago.
That's true. That's a tough one. That's the toughest one I can say. So, I pick the Shield.
I go with the Shield as well.
That's tough though. That's the hard one. That's a really hard one.
In a match that just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Chris Jericho versus Ryback.
Oh,
wake up!
You say Ryback?
Yeah.
I really don't care. Jericho's much better than this. I pick Jericho though.
I pick Jericho, and if he loses, I might just riot.
Snooze fest, like fall much as
The Divas title's on the line.
Diva.
Caitlyn versus AJ Lee, and I love the way they're giving them a lot of time now. They're giving them plenty of time.
Good job, Mr. Levesque. I pick AJ.
You pick AJ, huh?
Yeah, you do.
I pick AJ as well. As much as I think
someone gets
I'd want Caitlyn to win, I don't think so. The Intercontinental title is on the line. The Miz versus Curtis Axel or Michael Big Hillicuddy or Christian
or Joe. That was good. I pick Curtis Hennig.
I pick Curtis Hennig. That sounds like a good one to do. The World Heavyweight title is on the line.
Yes.
Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio.
Without his
Ricardo.
Without his mic. I pick Ziggler. I think him losing last month was probably in part to him still being a little concussed. I think Dolph Ziggler wins. I think, Money in the Bank the last couple years has been a pay-per-view that's really delivered for the fans.
Yes.
And I think this one's going to do the same thing. I think they're in Philadelphia. It's a very hardcore wrestling town. RVD's come back. They're really going to give the fans a good show, and I think Ziggler winning would help that, so I think Ziggler wins.
I agree. I take Ziggler as well. In the WWE title match, Mark Henry.
That's what I do.
That's what I do, yeah. Versus John Cena.
I pick John Cena.
To say really?
I don't pick Mark Henry.
There's no way in God's green acre they give Mark Henry the title.
I don't see it. I really don't.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I mean, obviously, I think
all it is another big guy for Cena to beat.
I think it was smart for them to do what they did on Monday for Cena, because Cena's done it before. He's fought Mark Henry before. For him to be trying to do the AA and he couldn't lift him. We've seen him lift the Big Show, which is more. So he can do it.
He's going to do it on Sunday. So he'll defy the odds.
As always.
Yes.
But I think it'll be good. I think Mark Henry's actually pretty good.
The World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank match to be the #1 contender to cash in for the World Heavyweight title.
Ziggler's or Del Rio?
So
since you cash in that night.
Since there's 7, I will allow you to pick 2.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, it's kind of hard to pick one in this situation. John Moxley.
Dean Ambrose, the United States champion.
Damian Sandow.
I'm surprised you didn't say Eric Seattle Stevens.
I could have if you'd like me to.
No.
Johnny Curtis.
No, it's Fun. Nope, don't say it. No. Go. That was good. I like that.
He got a punch for his troubles.
From Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
Don't say it. And even Zeb Coleman trying to don't say it.
Cody Reynolds.
Cody Rhodes.
Oh. Jack Swagger.
There's no difference.
No. Wade Barrett. Stu Grimson, I think it's Stu something.
I remember.
Yeah. And Antonio Cesaro or
Claudio
Castronoli.
These name changes. Alright, I'm gonna take this pen.
Yes.
I'm gonna mark off people.
You're gonna shine it up real nice.
Now, as much as I like to see Cody Rhodes win, him and Sandow cancel each other out because they're a tag team.
Yes.
Wade Barrett, Jack Swagger, and Cesaro are a team now with Zeb Coulter, so they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett and Fandango are feuding, but I have to pick two here. I'm going to go on a stretch here. I'm crossing out Wade Barrett. My two picks are Fandango and Mr. Dean.
Those are mine too. I thought.
I think Fandango's a little bit of a stretch.
I do too, but I think it'll be either Fandango or Dean Ambrose.
Because Fandango was. This is the kind of typical thing they do with Money in the Bank. A guy that was really over, as he was, and then comes out door and wins. That could be kind of the thing they're doing with him. And would I like to see that? Oh, yeah, I like to see it. But is it too early for him to win the world title? Probably. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see.
All-Stars now.
The WWE Championship Money in the Bank, the All-Star version.
Not to be confused with the game.
Yep. We'll see if he's in the match or not, but I'll go ahead and say Glenn Jacobs.
Kane. I don't think he's. I'm saying he's not going to be on sub.
All right. Stephen Farley.
Sheamus.
Oh, okay. Randy Orton. Yeah. Jason Rizzo.
Christian.
Okay. Bryan Danielson.
Yes. I mean Daniel Bryan.
Rob.
You're not forget it. You don't even know his real name.
Right, it is his real name.
No, it's not.
I know.
It's like some I couldn't pronounce. It's Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam. And Phil Brooks.
CM Punk.
Okay.
Cheese and crackers. All right, pen again. All right, so I'm crossing out Kane.
Yes.
And I'm putting in Mr. Bray Wyatt or Husky Harris.
But you're gonna cross him out too.
I'm crossing him out too now.
Yep. You're crossing Christian out.
Crossing Christian out.
I am too.
RVD, he's coming back.
I got a weird feeling about him. I don't know why, but I keep having a weird feeling about him.
Sheamus is feuding Randy Orton.
And I have a theory on this match.
Sheamus is feuding Randy Orton race, so I'm gonna cross them two out. As much as I like to see Sheamus win. Now my final three are Punk, Van Dam, and Bryan.
But the way Raw ended Monday.
Bryan would do when he's taking out people in the ring and going up to the line and grabbing them on the bank. That's a horrible precursor. I mean, they could go against it. I'm crossing out CM Punk. He just came back. My picks are RVD and Bryan. Punk just came back.
Well, RVD is just coming back.
I think Punk. I don't think they'd have Punk win 3 of them. I don't think they'd have.
Why?
I don't know.
He's epic. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't they?
You know, they said some kind of thing with him and Lesnar for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that.
Okay, just a food for thought here. In the Royal Rumble match, this has worked every year, and I don't know about Money in the Bank. I have to go back and check. But every year, when they have the big to-do, the Monday before Royal Rumble, the first one to say, I am going to win the Royal Rumble. If you ever notice, this is weird. It works every year. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
If there's 6 or 7 guys in the ring and they're talking about, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. This past year, it held serve. John Cena was the first one to say, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble.
Really?
Yes.
That's weird.
And there was like 6 or 7 other people in the ring, and they all said it. But because he was the first one to say it, he won.
Now, is that in previous years?
Yeah, it's happened every year. So, in this instance, there was all 7 of them there. Well, 6 of the 7 was there. And the first person to say, I will win Money in the Bank was Randy Orton. So I'm picking Randy Orton, and I'm picking Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
So we'll see. And like, it may not work for Money in the Bank, but it works for Royal Rumble. If you don't believe me, look it up. I promise you, it is weird.
So with Randy Orton, if he wins, he says he's going to cash in.
I hope he does. I like it when they cash in immediately.
One person who did that so far was King.
The only one that, I mean, I liked Ziggler having the case forever, but after a while it gets old. Because everybody's like,
when
is he going to cash it in? Is he going to cash it in?
Looking back on, he cashed the perfect time. The Monday after WrestleMania.
Exactly. So with that, we'll take another quick break. We'll come back. we'll wrap up the show.
Headline.
We have a very funny Idiot of the Week, by the way.
Wild card Idiot of the Week and much more.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Triple Threat Talk. Be right back.
IWU Louisville knows business. Not only did I earn my graduate degree, but I experienced a well-rounded education that benefits me my entire life.
The enrollment experience here is fantastic. They fit it around my schedule. They know I'm working. They know I have a family. They really took an interest in my goals here at IWU. IWU knows business.
Indiana Wesleyan University, Louisville. Change your life, change your world.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk, wrapping things up here on a July rainy day. It's been rainy every day.
At least it wasn't like last week. Last time we filmed, the power went out.
Yeah,
well, it flickered anyway.
Yeah, a little scary. So, just to kind of put a bow on the wrestling coverage, Money in the Bank is this Sunday. Like you said, it's always a good show. They always put on a good time, and if they hold serve like they have been so far this year, I have no doubts it's going to be another good pay-per-view.
I mean, they surprised me last month. It's like, here comes a new pay-per-view, new name, and it was good.
Yeah.
They're doing something right. I don't know what's going on there, but they're doing something.
And before we forget, I know we didn't get a chance to earlier, but we just want to say that the CAW interviewer, with both your questions getting used for headline coverage, you are this week's episode 106 Viewer of the Week. And with that, Big B, do you have a wild card, sir?
I do, but also I forgot to mention this. Last time we were here, we mentioned that the pentathlon we were doing.
Oh, yes.
And the tennis thing was won by me, obviously. The basketball one, not even close. Here's a little bit of highlights of what we did. It's not the whole thing, and I'll explain to you why.
You scored 2 points!
I scored 1 basket.
1 basket!
So when we come back from the highlight here, I'll tell you why it wasn't the whole thing. So, the reason I didn't show the whole thing, this had to be, in the history of park basketball, the longest game of 21 ever.
Ever.
That's why I didn't show the whole. Gary did up winning. He had 21, you had 16, and I had a resounding 2.
We will never, ever, ever play that game again.
And I think I had a concern about it beforehand. I think one-on-one, 3 people manning tournaments is kind of a difficult thing to do. But
it wasn't.
Well, I think for me it was, anyway.
Because you just weren't hitting your shots.
I think horse would have been a better idea.
You weren't guarding as well as you should have.
Yeah, but whatever. Let's hear everything other. But Gary now is 1 point on the board, so it's 1-1-0. Our next event is something that I hope you would probably do better as go-karting, so we'll see what happens there. I actually mentioned to Gary, and people would be like, what is wrong with you? I've never been go-karting either.
And that concludes the show. Because I'm going to kill Big B now. So if you want to like us on Facebook. Oh, my Lord.
It's never happened.
Get on to your wild card before I go.
Alright, so my wild card. Do I have a wild card is the question.
I don't think you do. You're trying to dig, and it's never good when you try to dig.
I have a small wild card. It's nothing huge. Huge. So I've been mentioning the last couple weeks, definitely check out my YouTube channel, the new one, youtube.com/DeMiroB. I posted a video the other day. It was a 100 impression video. I don't know if anyone saw it or not. It's on my channel right now. It has about 40-something views. Here's the thing. I'll delve into a little bit. When I did that YouTube generation contest thing, I didn't win, obviously. The guy I won, I'm actually talking to him on Facebook. We're actually going to try to collaborate and do something because, voice acting is a tough field to get into. I think making contacts actually be a smart idea. So anyway, after I did that video, I got a email from U Generation saying that they, for some reason, want to partner my channel. I was like, okay, so I did all that. I'm supposed to get paid for it, but after I got everything set up, I haven't heard from them about anything. But I posted a video and supposedly I get paid 50% on ad revenue. So if you watch my videos, definitely turn off ad blocking because that's the only way I would get paid at all. Again, I don't know how it's going to work because I haven't heard from U Generation at all, but I'm definitely going to be doing that periodically because, it's the only way I can really get into doing voice acting.
Why don't you give our fine folks here on the show and our good friends of the show just a sample of what they will find on the voice acting
video? Or are we doing it live?
Let's see a live version. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Big B. I want to hear just a couple of, like, not many, just 2 or 3 or 4 of your best for the fans here at Triple Threat Talk.
On the spot. Okay. Let's see.
Anyway, let me toss out a name. You tell me if you can do it.
Okay.
All right. I'll just start with an easy one. Let's go with Cartman from South Park.
Okay.
Well, my mom always said that I'm special. Jimmy, do you agree with my mom in saying I'm special?
It's a good one. That is definitely a good one. I had to like that one. Let's see. Let me come up with another one here. How about Ronald Reagan?
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. And you know what? After tear down the wall, give me back my jelly beans. I need them real bad.
Jelly beans.
You like jelly beans?
I like my jelly beans.
And finally, why don't you just throw one out there for everybody to hear?
I'll do some more real quick. I did Ren from Ren and Stimpy, and I did Rocco. I'll do a couple real quick.
Okay.
This is Ren from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, my beloved ice cream bar. I like to lick your creamy center. You're not like the others. You like the same things I do. Wax paper, boiled football leather, dog breath. We're not hitchhiking anymore. We're riding.
I did Squidward. And now for Squidward's own in E minor. Thank you. I did a couple people. I did Rocco. I did Filbert Heifer.
Filbert's the best one ever. Come on, do Filbert. Everybody loves Filbert.
You think I'll do it tonight?
Boo. Do the good Filbert.
That was good.
No, the best Filbert ever.
You turn the page.
Yes.
And you wash your hands.
Oh, God. I did Rocco.
Mr. Smitty, I'm sorry I'm late.
I did a bunch.
Check it out, definitely. It's good stuff by Big B. Go to his voice acting channel. I know I put him on the spot there, but check out his video. Like he said, don't do the ad block. Make sure you allow the ads to show up because that's the way that he gets paid. And
anyway.
show him full support on that.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Leave him a comment, even if you don't like it. At least, put on there.
Pretend that you do.
Pretend that you like it, for his sake. So. Awesome stuff there, Big B. My wild card this week, I kind of already did it at the end of the racing coverage. I was going to cover the hat, the charity thing for the Leffler family. So our idiot of the week.
You said it was a funny one, right?
It's a good one.
Okay.
And the doc's probably glad he's not here for this one.
Okay.
So apparently, Peyton Manning has decided that he's going to wear a Colts hat to Broncos practice because he used to play for them and his heart's still kind of there. So he's going to wear a Colts hat.
Is that true or are you joking?
I'm joking.
Okay.
I mean, play along here.
Okay.
Play along. Okay. And Tim Tebow has apparently announced that he is going to wear Broncos gear to Patriots practice.
Okay.
This all sounds like it would be an okay to you, right?
Right.
This sounds great, right?
Sounds fantastic.
So it shouldn't be no big deal that the starting quarterback for the runner-up San Francisco 49ers, Colin Kaepernick, is going around wearing a Miami Dolphins hat.
Now, even though you're being facetious, the other two made sense because they played for those teams.
Yes.
What affiliation does he have with the Dolphins?
I don't know. I do not know. All I know is, look, and then to be blunt as to say, I'm a 49er and I'm loyal, but what I wear is my business and yada. No. That's not how it works. That would be you wearing a Miami Dolphins hat would be like the CEO of Pepsi wearing a Coca-Cola hat. You don't do it.
No.
You don't play for the Miami Dolphins. You've never played for the Miami Dolphins. And if you're smart, you never will play for the Miami Dolphins. So, I don't get it. I don't understand why you would even broadcast yourself out there. I mean, I know some people gave LeBron grief when he was in Cleveland and he would walk around in his Yankees hat. That's a different sport. So he doesn't support the Indians. Who does other than Michael Rick?
I mean, look at Ray Rice, who was on Raw wearing a Brooklyn Nets hat.
Yeah, I mean, there's
no basketball team in Baltimore, so he can root for the Pacers, but
yeah. So I don't understand. Why would you even succumb yourself to do that? Why would you want to do that? I mean...
And then he assumed to take his clothes off.
Yeah. For ESPN The Body magazine.
Body.
No, not that body.
Oh.
Thankfully. But it didn't get much better.
He's actually getting over right now.
70-something-year-old Gary Player's in that magazine. And former University of Kentucky standout John Wall.
Oh, John, no!
But enough of that. Colin Kaepernick, for your idiocracy of taking your clothes off because I don't want to see that. And for wearing a Miami Dolphins hat to 49ers. You are definitely this week's Triple Threat Talk episode 106 Idiot of the Week.
That was a little facetious one, but I guess it was dumb for him to do it in the first place.
Oh well.
I think that wraps up the show this week.
I think so.
If you want to like us on Facebook, please like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Triple Threat Talk.
With a slash.
You can follow us on Twitter at Triple Threat Talk. Send us any comment or question you have, and of course your blogs at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. Thanks to Terry and Cheryl Bodie for all they do for the website. Definitely. Again, throw another shout out there. If I can find a commercial, I'll put it in the show this week. The next commercial I saw last night during Jay Leno's broadcast of Indiana Wesleyan University. It was actually Terry Bodie in the commercial talking about his experience. And it was kind of cool. I was like, whoa, that was a big surprise. So I was waiting for Neve Schulman from Catfish to come on Jay Leno, and that's why I put it on. And I saw a commercial with Terry. It's like, oh, wow. So that's pretty cool. So if I can find that, I'll definitely put that.
He's a celebrity.
I'm going to put that in the episode this week. That's it for me. This is Big B.
This is Postmaster Jones reminding everybody to keep it straight and stay between the lines. And we will see you next week. Hopefully the doc will return and we don't have any sticky pages of ESPN The Body magazines laying around because we'll know what he was doing. But that's neither here nor there.
This is Big B signing off. Hope you enjoy Money in the Bank. And I'm going to give you one more impression on the way out. I'm going to go look for the Little Poots. Little Poots! Little Poots! Oh, dear.
Ay. God help us.
It was really, really big, man.
Really, really big. That's kind of a long show for two of us.
Yep.
It was fun, though. We were, interacting very well.